Carl and Damon here from Brrraaains A Head-Banging Life, gbhblofficial for short, and it's the big question. Technically, it's 2 questions in one. What is the best video game console ever? And what is your favourite video game console ever? They could be both the same, they could be different. Going to look at the best objectively, we are, whereas the favourite is more personal than anything else. Now, quick run through, I think, of how many we've played. We can go back to the Commodore days.
Yeah.
All the way into the original Nintendo, Master System, Super Nintendo, Mega Drive, Genesis for you lot, Game Gear, Game Boys, all versions of the Game Boys, all the way up to 3DSs and Switches, or everything Nintendo. NES, Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, GameCube, Wii, not a Wii U though.
No.
Never played a Wii U. I think that's in Nintendo. On the Sony side, PlayStation 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3 for me. Never anything after that with PlayStation.
I played 4.
So there's 4 as well. Sega side, as we already said, Master System, Game Gear, Mega Drive, Sega Saturn, and of course the Dreamcast. And the Xbox, really straightforward, original 360, One, and Series X now as well. We're forgetting any other consoles amongst that, other companies. Trying to think what else. Didn't really play things like Jaguar or the 3DO or anything like that. I think that's about it, really. There probably 1 or 2 we're forgetting, but if we're forgetting them, it's because they don't stand out.
Yeah.
So they're certainly not going to come into this. So let's do favourite first. I think we'll do favourite first here. So this has always been, it's a 3-way tie for me. Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you what the 3-way tie is, and then I'll break it down into why it's my favourite. So the 3-way tie is the Sony PlayStation, the PS1. It's there. How can it not be?
It's good, yeah.
And I'll explain why actually each time. Because of the catalogue of games. Mm-hmm. Because there was a huge catalogue of games, and you could ship a PS1, so we could get a lot of those games. That's simply it. PS1, the catalogue of games, wide and varied, played some iconic stuff on it easily. The second one is Nintendo 64. A smaller catalogue of games, but some of my all-time favourite games are on this console. The third is the Xbox 360, because it was my return to gaming. It was my return to gaming after many years out of it. Xbox 360 and the introduction of achievements changed my gaming life going forward. So, and the Xbox 360 had a strong catalogue of games as well. A lot of my great memories come from the 360 and playing it and stuff like that. So those are the 3. The first game I ever played in the Xbox 360, I still remember it. How good is this as a first game? Guess what it was? A Rockstar game.
Rockstar. GTA?
Bully.
Bully.
Good start, right?
What a game, though.
Yeah, my second was Lost into Dominus.
Also an okay game.
It's a bad game, but we don't get many Lost games, so we like it for that reason. Yeah. But yeah, Bully is the first ever game I played on that. What a game, right? So that's my 3 that I think are within with a shout. So now I have to break it down like this. I go like this, okay. PS1 seems obviously ahead because of the amount of games you played and loved over it. Xbox 360 because of the achievements and stuff like that. But I can immediately eliminate the Xbox 360 because of nostalgic value more than anything else that comes from the PS1 and the Nintendo 64. And then I weigh it up like this. And this is why I'm weighing it up. So I'm going to tell you directly what my favourite one is and why. And it simply is this. It's the body of games, of quality games. There were a lot of PS1 games I played, but not a lot of games that I liked. Not a lot of games that aged well. Not a lot of games that I look at and go, yeah, I'd love to play that again. Whereas this Nintendo 64 not only has what for me is one of the strongest catalogue of games, of quality games overall. The fact that I'm getting to play them on my Switch these days as well, that's what I'm loving. I'm enjoying doing that as well. Now I'm just going to run off some of the games on the 64. And I know you can do this for the PS1 as well, but this is why it's a favourite, not the best. Is this. It's Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie, Conker's Bad Fur Day, GoldenEye, Perfect Dark. Already. Yeah. What else we got? My mind's gone blank. Paper Mario. Super Mario 64. Yep. Good God, almost forgot it. Mario Kart 64. Super Smash Brothers. Body Harvest. I mean, well, yeah, but it was a game I really fucking enjoyed.
I love that game.
Pokemon Snap. Pokemon Stadium. What else? That's the thing, like, it's sort of overall catalogue was not as big when you sort of compared to PS1, but like, that alone there is all brilliant. And I know I'm forgetting some. Like immediately, I'm like, forget
Star Wars Racer, man.
Star Fox 64.
Yeah, Star Fox 64.
Yep, Racer. There was Rogue Squadron.
Yep.
The original one. And there are so many great games.
Yeah.
That's why it's my favourite. It's because, while PS1 has tons of my favourite game, the big ones of the N64 are games I still love to today. Games I still talk about constantly. The Zeldas, the Banjos, all of them. These are immense, brilliant games I still love to today.
Yep.
So for me, my favourite console is the Nintendo 64.
Yeah, I mean, literally, pretty much everything you said is what I could say. But I mean, the only thing, my top three is PS1,
right?
N64, but it's not 360. And the reason why it's not 360 for me is the PS2,
right?
But it's not free, because of I mean, Metal Solid 2 and more games.
Yep.
You know,
Final Fantasy 10.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but it's not the. I can play games without achievements.
Yep, of course.
You know, obviously, that's how we start. Obviously, achievements are extra benefit. You know, playing Final Fantasy games.
Yeah, I mean, I play my Switch all the time.
Yeah,
there are no achievements in that.
You know, and yeah, I mean, to pick my
is the toss up right? Eliminate one. Like I did, I eliminated the Xbox 360.
PS2.
Right, so now you're down to the same thing: PS1 or 64.
Yeah, I mean, favourite. Again, like I said, literally, I'll pretty much say the exact same thing you said. It is the N64. You know, I've got so much knowledge and so much enjoyment out of that. Even now, I still have it. It's still plugged in. I can turn it on whenever I want it and play it. You know, I still have enjoyment out of it. And it's...
There's no Populous on it though, does it?
It doesn't, no, but, you know, I'd rather play Legend of Zelda than Populous.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'd rather play, as I said, I was playing Harvest Moon, Body Harvest a couple months ago, and although it's terrible graphics, it always was, but it's just one of those games which I really still enjoy. You know, I love getting a plane and flying around the terribly designed map.
Diddy Kong Racing.
Yeah, Diddy Kong Racing, yeah.
Another great one there as well. Do you think you've got more nostalgic value for the PS1 or the N64? Because I often think I've got more nostalgic value for the N64 than the PS1.
I mean, whenever I think of games, I always think of the N64 first. Yeah, so, well, and the GameCube too also, but it's not obviously that would be like
that could never be in this list.
No. But obviously, it had some. Obviously, Nintendo has a quality of making beautiful, colourful games.
Yep.
And when Nintendo was partnered with Rare, they had an amazing.
The Rare series of games,
yeah.
Even go back to Super Nintendo days with Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah, exactly.
All through the GoldenEye, Conquest Bad Fur Day. This is incredible stuff. So Banjo-Kazooie. So we're in agreement then. Favourite is the Nintendo 64.
Yeah.
Okay, well that brings us then to the best.
Yeah, it's easy.
It's easy for me as well.
Yeah.
I'll be right, on 3. 3, 2, 1. PS1.
Yeah.
Look at that!
Yeah.
Totally in sync. And you know what? I actually hinted at it earlier on the reason why.
Yeah.
It's the catalogue.
Yeah.
It's the overall catalogue. The amount of games that console had to you across all genres, all styles. You could play real-time strategy games and you could play first-person shooters. You could play stealth games. You could play kid games. You could play action adventures, platformers, racing games. It was all there. We are talking from Metal Gear Solid to Ridge Racer Type 4 to A Bug's Life to Theme Hospital to Tenchu Stealth Assassins.
Final Fantasy, Command and Conquer.
Final Fantasies, Command and Conquers. I mean,
Evil, everything.
It is, without a shadow of a doubt, because of the ease of development that went on in it, the amount of fucking imagination stuff, we're not including Blood Omen, Soul Reaver, all of these, the cheapness of the games, particularly if you had it chipped, the catalogue was immense. It went on, it destroyed the Saturn, left it in the dust, pretty much killed the Dreamcast before that even fucking arrived. For the simple body of work it had, the catalogue it had, and the amount of games that we played that had impact for the first time ever. It was my first experience of Final Fantasy, was Final Fantasy 7. First experience of real-time strategy games was Command and Conquer. Or technically Warcraft, maybe Warcraft 2 The Dark Saga might have come first. You know, playing Metal Gear Solid for the first time and just being blown away by it, even if it all came in so many fucking discs and stuff like that. This is why, for me, it's the best.
Yeah, I mean, even games like Medieval, for example.
Yeah, Medieval Spyro the Dragon, Jesus Christ, Crash Bandicoot.
I mean,
now I'm beginning to wonder if it should be favourite as well. God, because that you kind of forget there's a lot of fucking good games.
Oh yeah, of course. But I mean,
Zelda and Mario and it's just too good.
I can go back and play not so much Crash, but Spyro. I could play it
and Medieval for me,
and enjoy it still as much as I could play Spyro 100 times. But I could go back and do it now. But I would still find more enjoyment of riding my horse around Hyrule and stuff like and playing Mario.
There's another thing that's completely separate to the games is what I want to say is why PlayStation is probably the best console. It set the standard that we would know as controllers. So obviously, when it later introduced dual shock pads and the analog sticks, they would become the standard. A massive negative of the Nintendo 64 is that fucking controller. But PlayStation's controller, the ease, simplicity, and let's be honest, everyone's aped it ever since. You can say it was just an adaptation of like the Mega Drive's curved one and stuff like that, but the analog sticks and the introduction of them, which obviously introduced us then to a game like Ape Escape. Can't forget about stuff like that, and changed up how you played other games as well with the analog stick. What a moment that was.
Yeah, definitely.
It's untoppable to me. If you are of our age, I think age will play a major part in this.
Yes, definitely.
I think if you're our age and it was part of your youth growing up, you were a kid, teenager during the height of PlayStation 1 era, you probably will feel the same. It'd likely be your favourite because I think there's a strong argument that Silent Hill, Resident Evil... I might change my mind here. Then I might change my mind. I just keep coming up with more that were on the PlayStation that are iconic to us, that we've discussed.
Populous.
Yeah, I mean, even Populous, I played the shit out of that.
Future Cop, man.
Memory cards. And then I'm like, oh yeah, Turok 2 on Nintendo 60. Something like this is not the comparison.
Yeah, of course.
No, I am going to stick because, as I said, the nostalgic value and of those specific sets of games for Nintendo 64 are maybe often more higher than a lot of the ones in the PlayStation 1. It just happens PlayStation 1 has some of the iconic games. That's why it's the best console.
Yep.
Yeah, it's simple as that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. What do you reckon? What's your favourite and what do you think is the best? Are they the same or are they two different ones like we've chosen? You know what to do? Let us know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked what you saw, please help us out by giving us a thumbs up and hitting that subscribe button. If you really liked what you saw, consider donating to keep the website and channel running by buying us a coffee via our coffee page or picking up some merch from our Big Cartel store. You can check us out on gbhbl.com as well as via our social media, Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, as well as listen to our interviews via SoundCloud, Apple Music and Spotify. Just search for GBHBL. Games, horror and heavy metal. What else is life for?